Center? Where's that at?
It's down the main street here,
Is it on
on the left.
the left?
Yeah, it's Colby's.
Great big
It's
building.
another block down.
Yeah, it's brand new building.
I'm supposed to meet some people here about a week, about another week, and I just want to make sure I'm going. What
Yep,
number is it?
yep, down the street on the
On
left. Yep.
Okay, thank you.
Our town's not that big.
So if you didn't come to Miami, they wouldn't go anybody here.
Good evening. I'd like to welcome everyone to the East Dubuque City Council meeting. It is Monday, August 17th. I ask that you please turn your cell phones off during the meeting and please be quiet during discussions. Please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Twenty-six 0811 call to order.
Bergmeyer,
Here.
Dagenhart,
Here.
Fleur, Meyer,
Here.
Roby,
Here.
Taylor,
Here.
Mayor Digman,
Here.
Attorney Hess.
26 0812 staff reports. City manager report.
Thank you. The Indian Hills project is reaching practical completion. So virtually, I think all or within one or two of the homes that are going to be hooked up are hooked up to the sewer. So then what remains is putting everything back together, the patching and lawns and things like that. Emergency services building is really shaping up. We've got lights and light switches now. The upstairs is painted, and doorways, door frames, and all that are in. They're beginning work on the elevator shaft. The downstairs, the main meeting room is just about ready for painting, and then the final ductwork will go in and things. So, and if you go by now, you'll see that the prep work is being done for the sidewalks and sewer drainage. So that's all good. We've hopefully we're making another effort at funding for the drainage ditch. There is a state grant coming up that'll be open on October 4th. And so we're looking at trying to bring in the DOT people that are involved. I met last week in a group with Representative McCombie, and that's where we found out about that funding. And so we were able to once again bring to front of mind that project. So we'll try to get as much support as we can. Don't know if this grant's going to fit us perfectly, but we're going after everything we can.
Thank you. I just have a few things to touch base on tonight. Joe Davies County Sheriff's Office joined the statewide Labor Day traffic safety effort focused on impaired and distracted and unsafe driving. From August 14th through the early morning hours of September 8th, officers will be out in force focused on stopping impaired driving, enforcing seatbelt laws, and reducing other dangerous driving behaviors. Next thing, save the date, Saturday, October 24th. That will be the day that we do the dedication of our new emergency services building and lighting of the bell tower celebration. We'll also be celebrating the Lions Club 90th anniversary, which will include a version of Wingfest with live music, inflatables, and conclude the night with fireworks. So that will be Saturday, October 24th. And then finally, next Tuesday, August 25th, election papers can start to be taken out for mayor, city clerk, and wards 1, 2, and 3 alderperson. So you can start doing that on Tuesday, the 25th.
Mayor, I should just add quickly that we are taking applications in the Public Works Department. And so that's being advertised in the paper, and you can contact here, or we'll post it on the website for people who want to apply for our Public Works job. So we're looking for all the applicants we can get to sift through.
Thank you. Alderperson report. Bergmeyer?
Nothing this week, Mr. Mayor.
Thank you. Degenhardt?
Nothing in this time, Mayor.
Thank you. Meyer?
I have nothing tonight.
Thank you. Roby?
Yeah, that October 24th celebration, how much money is the city putting towards that? Are we putting anything towards, or is it just through the Lions Club?
Yeah, it's through Lions
The
Club.
Lions Club.
Okay. That's all I have.
Okay. Taylor?
Nothing tonight.
Thank you. Police Chief Kavasik? Thank you. Fire Chief Heim? Thank you. 26-0813, speakers from the floor. We have none noted this evening, so we will move forward. 26-0814, consent agenda.
Still moved. Second.
Roll call.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Degenhardt. Fleur. Meyer. Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
New business, 26-0815, discussion and possible action to approve a resolution to approve a driveway at 166 Encinoa Avenue for the purpose of an exit for a drive-through. The plan is contingent on commitment by a business requiring a drive-through that will bring value to East Dubuque, and city manager approval of an engineering plan that relocates the impacted handicap parking space and is in conformance with city code and relevant provisions of the Americans with Disabilities Act in the city of East Dubuque.
So I think it's an exciting opportunity. People are not really locating food service businesses without a drive-through anymore. That's a post-COVID thing that I don't think is going to go away anytime soon. And I think the idea that we would have something that's a food service kind of a opportunity that isn't focused on the adult type of entertainment, alcohol and gaming, I think would be an important addition to the city. And so I think if we have the opportunity to get something like this, it'll work out well. I think it would involve the loss of a couple of parking places on Cincinnati, but we would be adding parking places behind the building that John's talking about. And so it'll be a net gain for the downtown in terms of parking. And so I think this is a good opportunity to potentially bring in a very high level of business that we don't have. Since I've been here, we've had a number of businesses that the mayor and I have talked to that have said, do you have a location for me with a drive-through? And we've had to look around and we've had to say, no, we don't really have one of those. And so anyway, I think this is a good opportunity. The engineering work has not been done, but I think it would involve moving the handicap parking spot that's in front of Ms. Hyde's to the other side of the driveway coming out from 166, and then reconfiguring that there, which would involve the owner having to put in handicap accessible ramp up to ADA standards, as well as a driveway to ADA standards. And other than that, I think we're pretty well laid out for it.
I think the other nice thing is it's gonna shift that handicap spot, the current handicap spot, down the block further, because if you all remember, we've had requests from Salon 150 to relocate a handicap spot closer. So this is going to be a little more accessible for them as well.
I had talked to John before I came in. John, would you come up?
Can you hear me? Yes.
John and I were talking before, and I didn't understand the drawing because there's so many lines. Can you explain to me where the drive-through exactly is going?
Yes, that was my, without spending the money on engineering plans before I know if you're going to approve it or not, that was my best way to show you what I'm going to do. So you have Mrs. Hyde's and then my building. And when I first had the building, it was centered on my property. And I had talked to the city and we thought, oh, let's move it over just in case. So I shift the whole building over, and that leaves a space between my building and Mrs. Hyde's for, it's 20 feet worth of space to put a drive-through in. Again, this is only contingent on if I have someone that says I need a drive-through. If I don't get one, then it doesn't happen. But at least I'm in conversations with two, and now this afternoon a third possible place that would like a drive-through there. And I at least want to be able to tell them, yes, we could probably put a drive-through in. You know what I mean? Based on your vote tonight. Again, it's all contingent. If I put XYZ business there that doesn't need a drive-through, then we won't open it up, and it'll just stay, there'll just be a couple parking spots on the side of the building.
And I think from the diagram is just for the sake of seeing this.
Yeah, nothing in that.
Probably a drive-through would go the other direction.
What's that?
The drive-through would actually probably go to Cincinnati because.
Did I have it backwards on there?
Yeah, you had to go in towards Wall Street.
That was my next question. Are you
So-
coming off Cincinnati and in, or?
Some people call me a general contractor when I'm building this building, and I tell them to stop saying that. But yes, I apologize. Yes, so it would come off Wall Street and then come out onto Cincinnati because everyone's driver's side window is on the side of where the drive-through is. Yes, so I apologize.
So the plan
about
does
that.
not have us going to the British method of driving it.
Well, maybe. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, no, yeah. It would. I apologize. I didn't review it that close because I didn't know what I was doing with it. Obviously, if it ever comes to actually happening, then I would have my engineering crew that did my building plans actually draw it out. But I was just trying to give you an idea of it would come on Wall Street and come out on Cincinnati. And I will say too, so there's you would lose moving that handicap space down, which I would do the curb cut for that to put it back in, and also the curb cut for the drive-through. You would lose estimated, let's just say 2 spots because it's kind of 1.5. But I'm going to add 6, possibly 8 spots behind the building. So like say the employees that would park there, instead of parking on the street, they'd be parking behind the building. So you're actually gaining 6 spots because if there was no parking behind the building, then you just lose 2 spots. But all those employees will have a place to park.
But that's not going to be public parking behind your building, just you.
No, it is. Yes. It's not employee parking only. Yes. Anybody can park
Like
there.
on weekends, if somebody isn't open and that lot isn't full, anybody can park there?
Yeah, anybody can park there. Yes, for sure. Yeah. I apologize. Yes, that's the whole point. It's just, I hope they park there to come into my businesses, but it is going to be just parking in general.
Okay.
And we should be clear too that the reason we ran into trouble moving the handicap parking spot was that the cost of putting in a ramp made it prohibitive to move it down further down the block toward Salon 150. So,
And I'm going to take on the cost of that curb cut and all the engineering plans and all that. And also, Salon 150 has been asking for that to be moved, so there's a win-win for quite a few people there.
Yeah, she's been asking for years. So,
Any further questions or discussions?
I
I've
think
got
it's a
one.
great idea. Oh, go
Yeah,
ahead,
I like this. And assuming things go really well, the only thing I could see is, if we all remember Chick-fil-A when they had to go to the 2 lanes because that traffic's backing up, or Dunkin' Donuts and Starbucks there. I could see potentially, and this, I'm not against this, but I could see potentially coming down, I don't know, the street. I could see things backing up, businesses booming, doing really well, and it starts causing problems. So, if you could get everyone maybe to go around and come in from the left on Wall Street, turning in there, where if they're trying to come from the right, I could see it backing up at that stop sign.
Yeah, because that's very short distance.
Oh, I'll be honest with you, that was 100% my plan because, I see what you're saying. Like, we would have directional signage, like if you're trying to pull in here. Yeah, yes, I see what you're saying. Yeah, it would be, all traffic would be directed to come down Cinema, turn around by Bridge City, and come around that way. Because otherwise, you're going to have a bottleneck. Right. So, yeah. So it would say enter. I should have put that in my plan. I apologize. I was a little pressed for time. But there would be signage telling them to come in from the direction, I'm sorry, the west, east.
And a lot of those are, a lot of the people coming through the drive-through are going to be delivery.
And that's the interest. A lot of people say, well, there's not enough business in East Dubuque or, the surrounding towns, but anymore, no one wants to get off their couch and go get food. They all want it delivered. And the nice thing is with the businesses I'm talking to, there is not one in the tri-state area. So their DoorDash, Grubhub, whatever you call it, is going to be extremely busy. And there also will be, what I told Bob, there will also be a dining room. It's not just going to be straight drive-through. So there will be a dining room area where people can come in, sit down, and eat a meal as well. But
it's a great thing because we really don't have a place that like kids could go and have a sandwich or whatever without going into a bar.
And from the input I'm getting from the community is this is what they want. And so in my talks with the couple franchises that I'm talking to, they're interested. I mean, they look at Dubuque, but I told them we're an extension of Dubuque. You know what I mean? Everything's Asbury, uptown Dubuque. I said, these delivery drivers and everybody, it'd be quicker for them to come down here than go all the way across Asbury to deliver to, say, Bluff Street. So...
Any further questions or discussion? If not,
So moved, Mayor.
I'll second this.
roll call.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Meyer.
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Thank you.
26-0816, discussion and possible action to approve liquor and city licenses for the new Going East for September 1st, 2026 to December 31st, 2026 with completed application in the city of East Dubuque.
I'm starting to think somebody's taking over this. No. This is another great benefit for the city. The fact that we had a bar leave and that spot is not staying empty. We're not going to have an empty storefront, and we appreciate the investment in the city of East Dubuque.
The reason they only get 2 machines?
What's that?
I was wondering, is there a reason they only get 2 machines? Or is that all they ask for? Is that a limit?
No, that's coin.
That's
That's
coin
good.
operated.
So that's
like
the
your
coin
pool,
operated, so,
Darts.
Cool. All right.
yeah.
Do they already have a state liquor license?
No, they don't get that until after they get the city license.
Okay. Same way with gaming?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call.
Meyer.
Aye.
Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
All right, moving forward, 26-0817, discussion and possible action to approve emergency service building payment number 10 in the amount of $98,498.20 for Tricon General Construction in the city of East Dubuque.
Again, this is all in line with the contract, and it has gone through folks at Origin, been signed off on for both the cost and the prevailing wage and all those things. And so I recommend approval. And I think, Gene, you asked last meeting about
I was reading through.
the
Yeah.
total amounts. So both on this one and the Indian Hills, we've got totals in there for you for both of those.
Thank you.
Any further questions or discussion? If not, we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Roll call.
Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Meyer.
Aye.
26-0818, discussion and possible action to approve change order number 6 for the Emergency Services Building in the decreased amount of $10,414.50.
So essentially, we went from a stainless railing to a painted railing on the stairway, and the way things laid out with the sidewalk and us putting the new sidewalk and things, the step, there won't be a step to the building that required a railing. There would have been a ramp step up to the main entrance. So by just re-engineering those things, we save a few pennies.
Any questions or discussion? If not, we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion.
Got a motion?
I'll second.
Second? Roll call?
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Meyer. Roby.
Aye.
26-0819, discussion and possible action to approve East Dubuque High School's annual homecoming parade in downtown East Dubuque on September 11th, 2026 at 3:30 p.m. with street closing for staging.
So the usual for the parade.
Roll call?
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart. Meyer. Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
26-0820, discussion and possible action to approve IEPA 17-5984 payment in the amount of $166,298.10 for temporarily excavating grant request number 6.
So, like the other for the ESB, this is all part of the contract and is all covered by the grant for the project on Indian Hills.
I'll make a motion to approve.
I'll second.
Roll call?
Dagenhart.
Aye.
Meyer. Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
26-0821, discussion and possible action to approve IEPA 17-5984, change order number 2 to extend the final completion date from Temporarily Excavating Incorporated.
So this, as we talked about, I think we talked about at the last meeting that they ran into some serious rock up there, which isn't a huge surprise. And it slowed down getting through there. They are now through connecting everything up and should have the project buttoned up, but by the end of this month. And so this just extends it so that we can continue to collect the money on the grant.
Any questions or discussion? If not, we need a motion to approve.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Roll call?
Meyer. Roby.
Aye.
Taylor.
Aye.
Bergmeyer.
Aye.
Dagenhart.
Aye.
26-0822, discussion and possible action to approve first quarter 2027 budget.
So I'm trying out a new format based on feedback we've gotten from members, and we're trying to walk a line between it being simple enough information for everybody to kind of get it and walk through it and feel like they understand everything in it, but then have enough information, enough complexity that it gives a true picture. So what you've got in your book is the main parts of the budget. So the administration, which is operations, which is administration, police, fire, EMS, flood, and then water and sewer and garbage. So what I've done and what you have in front of you is I did that up then for the entire budget, and that's the document you have in front of you. What I've tried to do was have these all end on the same date so that the first quarter would end 7/31, and then all the numbers would be as of that date. Unfortunately, in this one, some numbers from August snuck in, and so the percentages are they're accurate and they're more up to date than for the first quarter, but you really have to get a snapshot. You have to do it at the end of a month for everything. So that's kind of an improvement that we've made on the new version that's in front of you. What I'd like to do is get any feedback tonight on the format and what you like to see, and then have a discussion on this in the next at the next meeting. So I'll just walk through that for you. What you have on this sheet is the account number, which is, if you're talking to Pam, she only understands things in account numbers. And then a description of that line is in the next column. Year to date, which in the new packet that you've got, everything should be as of 7/31, so 1/4 of the year. Then the next column, you've got the budget as approved in April, and the following column has percent of budget. So that is the percentage of the total budget that we've incurred so far, or in case of revenue, the percentage of the revenue that we've received so far. So if you're just scanning this, which is kind of the first thing you probably would want to do, we're 25% of the way through the year. So if you scan down that line and you see things that are in the neighborhood of 25, those are pretty much on budget. If you see something that is wildly off from that, then those would be the things that you might want an explanation for. If you look over and you see, for instance, publishing notes is at 46% of the budget. Well, that's a big number, but the total budgeted amount was $500. So we've spent $232. So that may not be a huge deal. But if you look at revenue, for instance, in the revenue, so the ones followed by an R are revenue, the E's are expenditures. It's backwards from what you'd think. So revenue has parentheses around it like it's a negative number, but it's actually, that's the money coming in. And so scanning down, for instance, if you go to the second page of administration, so above the police, the third one up is community relations, economic development. So we had $10,000 in there for the year. We've spent $6,000. Well, that is the advertising campaign having to do with the bridge. And so you would expect that since that whole the whole budget for that advertising is all in the first 5-6 months of the fiscal year, you'd expect that that's going to run higher than 25%. So it's at 61. When I do a budget adjustment, the other thing I realized from the way we did it last year was that I was calculating, how much you're spending per month, what the time of year was, what we did from the previous year, and I was making adjustments, and we ended up going up and down in the same lines. So I didn't propose changes to the budget this year in the first quarter. We'll start looking at that in the second quarter. But on that community relations line, for instance, we also added the rebate of the half of the liquor license. So in the next quarter, we'll make an adjustment to that line because it's going to be higher than 10,000. So that kind of gives you so there are things that are summertime things, and there, for instance, the stuff related to snow plowing, well, we probably haven't spent very much of that budget as of now. But there are other things, revenue from water, for instance. If you look at the water, it's running pretty close to on budget, maybe a little bit ahead. Well, summertime, you use a little bit more water than wintertime. So water receipts, we're at 29%. So you'd say that's good, but over the course of the year, I wouldn't make an adjustment to that number at this point because we're summertime, people are watering their lawns, doing all kinds of that stuff. And so in a few months, we'll have a better idea of how that plays out for the full year. So when you look at a line, some of the stuff will just make sense that it'll, based on the time of year. Some things have to do with, somebody bought janitorial supplies in July as this year as opposed to buying it next year. So if there are any questions, I'll take those. And the final column is the year-to-date of last year. So what did we spend or raise in that line the previous year? So I go back on the first page again to the state income tax, which state income tax bounces all over the place. There's no not a really good rhyme or reason to it. But we've taken in 35% of the estimate, which sounds really good. But then when you look at where we were last year, we're only less than 2,000 ahead of last year. So we are up, but we're not up by the number that it would suggest by, being 35%. So anyway, that's probably more than you wanted. But if people want to kind of go over this, if you want to come in and talk about any of it, please come in. Otherwise, we'll have a chance to discuss this at the next meeting. My anticipation is we won't have anything to approve at that point because it's a little early in the year to be starting to adjust budgets. So, any questions or comments? Anything that you'd like to see better than this, or we're trying to hit the target?
Easier to understand than the last one.
Okay.
I mean, if you knew revenue was our expense was, and then the percentages, it was a lot easier for me to handle anyway.
Okay. No, that's what I want to hear. We keep shooting darts, and we're trying to find the best method here, and I think this makes sense to me.
Yep.
Okay.
So are we just going to table this then tonight? Or
There wasn't an action. It was possible, a discussion and possible action. We didn't have
so
an
there's
action.
no action tonight? All right. All right. There is no executive session tonight. So we will move forward, 26-0825. We need a motion to adjourn.
Second.
Roll call.
Roby,
Aye.
Taylor,
Aye.
Bergmeyer,
Aye.
Degenhardt, Meyer.
We are adjourned.